And then you know what? I would like to interview some porn stars and be like, does size really do matter?
Welcome to the Lady Berries podcast with Angelique Berry and Booda Inez.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you about Legend of Korra.
What?
I could not wait to see the next episode.
Yeah.
To the point where I was watching episodes in Spanish because for some reason, like the Spanish dub would be released before the English version.
Uh-huh.
And I just had to know. I had to it was just so good. And my only critique about Legend of Korra was that I wish that they stuck to one villain throughout the whole series. And I wish they stuck to the bad Airbender guy. I wish he was like eventually he came back like in the end of the book, like the last book, and gave her like advice and stuff. But I wish he was like the villain like from the beginning, because Amon was kind of like whatever. And then her uncle in book 2, who was the villain who was trying to release the portals and tricked her. He wasn't that great either. But I thought Kuvira, she was a good villain.
Oh yeah.
But at the end, she just ended up being like an evil bitch, anyways. And she wasn't. She ended up. She was presented as like a very complex character.
Yeah.
She wasn't necessarily like a villain, but then she ended up just being a regular villain.
It was very political. It was very like, I felt it was more towards like the older kids. It was a lot of adult stuff going on.
Well, which is why it was like exclusive. Remember, it was only exclusive on the Nintendo website because it was this was just when like streaming was actually becoming more and more popular. And Nintendo, like, I remember watching the last few seasons of Legend of Korra only on their website, only on their streaming, and it was free.
Yeah.
But it was kind of a pain in the ass because they didn't have like a real streaming service.
Yeah, back when Hulu was free.
Yeah. So
no,
and then they ended up being lesbians.
Yeah, like I love the end. You're like, fuck the man. Let's just be together.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Give me fucking Bolin any day though.
Oh my god. Oh,
he was so sweet and so funny and so like
he's
cute.
Literally what I want in a man.
Aw, you remind me of a Bolin actually. Like you could do him.
Like physically.
You could do him.
I will do him.
You will. But Bolin was so cute.
What else?
Judy!
Do the thing!
That was fun. He ended up being a really good, fun character.
And you know what I love about the Avatar series is like, even my girls watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And they love it. It's it's one of their favorite series to watch, like rewatch.
Yeah, I don't think like Nintendo understood what they had. The next Avatar is a Sandbender. And he's like an orphan. That's what I'm waiting for that.
I heard there were twins.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's twins. I'm sorry. There's twins. But one's like Prince
and the Pauper.
Yeah, one's like
situation.
Living in like he's like a prince, isn't it? And then the other one's like kind of destitute, right?
Yeah.
And then they,
I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, and then
can I tell you my favorite?
Are we at the Netflix series yet?
Oh yeah, I saw it, and it's pretty good.
I liked it.
Can I tell you my favorite episode? And it ended up being like my favorite season of Legend of Korra.
Wow.
My favorite is that those last 2 episodes of season 2, where you find out the first Avatar 1.
Yeah, I love a good backstory about everything.
I cried like a baby, knowing that they are together forever. And she finds Rava again, you know, and it's just like such beautiful the animation. First of all, the animation on that one is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like old school wood art. And then like I just love the story of like the tiger turtles or whatever, the lion turtles.
Yeah.
That gave them all the power.
Okay, let's get with the meaty topic. Ooh, the meaty topic.
Ooh, what's a meaty topic?
Meaty top.
A meaty top. Ooh, I don't mind. I don't mind a meaty top. You know what? Let me tell you something.
Speaking of meady tops,
well, let me tell you something. I'm gonna go on a rant on this. Okay. I don't believe that a lot of people prefer it big. Do you?
No. Get that big thing out of my face.
Because I think like in like this culture, like especially in the gay culture, it's like, ooh, you big? Oh yeah, let me take that big dick, daddy. And then when it actually once you get to the tip, it's like, ah, you know.
I am comfortable with a nice 5 or 6 inches.
5 inches?
Yeah.
Okay.
I am comfortable.
Or width?
Huh?
Length or width?
Length.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I am a comfortable girl. Like, I do bottom, but I don't bottom.
Because I've been with big dicks. Okay, and I'm talking about 7. And that shit.
What's his name?
Rob.
Oh no, my was Jamil.
Oh, I thought not Jamil. I thought we were going on that joke and be like, oh my god, you bitch. No, but
maybe I love this.
No, but I don't think that like because once it gets in there and you're doing it for a while, at some point it just gets uncomfortable. You know? Like I'm like you.
I blood.
You blood?
Yeah.
Has the girl have her blood? But like, you know, like a sensible 5 inches is workable. You know?
Yeah.
That's like average, right? And then I would like to interview some porn stars and be like, does size really do matter?
No.
You know? But yeah, that was my rant. So, into relationships.
Speaking of that, relationships. Have you ever been in a relationship? If so, how many?
If so, let's define a relationship.
Like a relationship, like, okay, you guys are a couple, like it's because boyfriend and girlfriend.
Okay, so let's
boyfriend
say
and girlfriend.
Yeah. So no, never. I've been. Oh, okay. I want to say 2. Okay. I've been in 2, and yeah.
Okay.
And I would say that I'm not good at relationships. I want to say.
Okay.
Because I've been alone for so long, and when you get as old as I am,
54,
you kind of you're settled in your ways, okay?
Yeah.
And when anybody tries to come in and interfere with that, you know, because a lot of my relationships is based on like, you know, my father, my mother, you know, and I've lived with them, I've seen them where all of their relationships, you know, those people never have they ever been in relationships where we had to go into their house. We had to move into their house. They all had to move in with us.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
And to me, like the relationships that I had, like they all had to come into my house. You know? Like I could never go to their house. You know?
Yeah.
And I get it in this economy back then, you know, and everybody can have their own house. But the guy that I had my first relationship, he did have a house, but his sister and her family were living in that house.
Yeah.
And he was and so he technically didn't have his own place, but he was paying the mortgage on the house, and that was his house. And I was like, oh, okay. So he was always at my apartment.
Yeah.
Which is fine. We're in a relationship, but you know, I like my space. And then I was with another guy that was a bit younger than I was, so he lived with his mom, which is fine. But he would, you know, he had trust issues, and I don't play that shit. Where it's like, all right, well, if you don't trust me to even be like this, that, and this, you know, then you know how can we go? Yeah, how can we? Yeah, you know, like I don't like to be monitored. I'm a grown ass man. Huh?
Yeah, I get that.
I don't like to be monitored. I don't like that I have to like text like 5 seconds after you text me, and then if they don't get a text back like 5 seconds after they text me, the whole world falls apart. You know, I'm not into that either. You know, it's just like all this baggage that people have from other people. You know, I just don't have time for that. Yeah. You know, I'm like, trust me. Trust me. But yeah, I'm like, you know, I want somebody that has their own place, has their own has their own car.
Yeah, I know.
Girl, let me tell you, you mother, and if you're part of, and if you don't, and if you're part of this situation, then God bless you.
Yeah.
But y'all not having your own motherfucking car in Phoenix, Arizona, your mom's a hoe. I'm just telling you that right now. And I get it. I know the economy is trash.
But we can be friends.
Yeah. But
yeah.
I know some people, but people can make it work. My mom got her car from Carvana.
Yeah.
You know? And I know it's all based on credit and all this other shit. But damn it, have a car. Like, I am not your Uber. You know?
No, I get that for sure.
Oh my God. Like, sometimes I want to be wined and dined. Sometimes I want to be picked up. I want a guy that could, like, take care of things, you know? Everything's taken care of, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. I have a checklist. I'm like, you have to have a job, your car, and a place to live. Like, your own place without... a place where it's like... you don't live with your parents.
Or roommates.
Or, yeah. I don't mind the roommate part. Like, it's a fine. I get it. You know, it's expensive, but like, for me, if just don't live with your parents, I think it's weird. Like, not weird, but it's like
at a certain age.
I'm not gonna go
like right now in our age. We're in our 30s.
Yes,
we you know it would just be nice to have like 2 separate places to go to. Yeah. You know, like I don't mind having to be at my place, just not all the goddamn time. You know?
Yeah.
But from my experience, it just hasn't been that way.
Yeah.
And I just really haven't been looking. I realize that I'm not like somebody that needs somebody all the time. I'm actually quite the opposite. And you know this from being friends with me, is that I don't like to go out that much anyways.
Yeah.
You know? But,
oh yeah, I know.
Yeah. But when I do, I could be a pretty good fun time.
Yeah, of course.
You know?
I agree.
I could be a pretty fun time.
Like that one time you said that for my birthday, I'm like, yay.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You know? And you only get it once a year.
Yeah, know? Exactly.
So but no, I do have a resolution to be better. I do want to go out more, but you know, that I need to work on my health. I need to work on I need to lose weight, because I don't feel really comfortable with my body, and if I don't feel comfortable around in my body, then I just rather stay home, eat a whole pizza, and cry myself to sleep. That's a perfect Friday night to me.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. Now I've met these guys through apps.
Mm-hmm.
Do like, I would like to meet people in person, but to me, that's kind of like that's like a dying thing to do. I mean, I've met guys that were all over me, but granted, they were drunk. But
and thought I was a woman.
Yeah, no, I wasn't. I was out of drag. I had these two fine Mexican guys who I think were a couple, but they both claimed to be tops. So I was kind of.
Oh, I've been with two top couples.
Oh, which I don't know how that works. But I think they were there was one guy that was like on me like heavily, and then there was like another guy that was kind of more standoffish. But the more I was like fighting, the more I was like kind of like contesting him, the hotter I guess I was to him. And
he likes
the challenge, and I acted like I wasn't totally interested in him, which I wasn't, but hey, if anybody's interested in me, you're halfway. You're halfway there,
What's your type?
My type, I like, oh my god. Well, I'm a height queen. Because I think I'm average height. All right? If he's 6'1", but then I don't discriminate. But you're asking me for my type, so
okay, yeah, go for it.
But a 6'1", burly man. If he's hairy, I'm like talking about Chewbacca hairy. I like the quintessential man type of burly. If he's got a beard, woo, won't be singing tonight, honey. But yeah, I love me a tall man. If he's tall, if he looks like he could pick my fat ass up and fling me from wall to wall, then I'm your boy. I'm your gal. What's your type?
My type.
Ooh. Oh, and he's got to have a credit score of at least 800. That's my type. So, it has his own car. You know what? I don't mind if he has kids already. I actually prefer that because I do want kids, but
you don't want to birth them.
I don't want to. No, I can't afford. Not with this body. Not with this body that I paid for. But no, if he has, because I'm really good with kids, and if he has kids already, and like, because I just want to be like mother already, a mother figure, or just like another
parental,
just another figure, that's in a positive light, I prefer that, so we don't have to like wait or whatever. It's just like the baby mama ain't gonna be crazy. That's all I gotta say. She gotta be cool. But other than that, have his own house.
No. Okay.
What's your type?
My type. I don't know. I attract a lot of twinks.
No.
Yeah, like most of the. No, I attract that.
What's there?
And then what I'm looking for.
Are you looking for a twink? Or
I mean, I wouldn't mind a twink if they have like a good personality, like.
Okay.
Like
I
think for me, a good personality, like you're outgoing, you're friendly, you're mature, you're
which is not a lot of swings.
Exactly. So that's why it's hard.
Listen, if I had a skinny hot body like that, and I looked that young, I would be acting like that way too.
Yeah. But no, in all reality, I like I like men.
Men.
Who?
Oh my God, you're a man.
I guess who's like like kind of like big shoulderish. Like
Broad shoulders.
kind of like me, I guess.
So you're looking for another muscly gay.
Yeah, and like kind of like they like to
because I would
go out and do stuff.
Because I would consider you a musly.
Yeah,
you're very broad. You're a very
broad, handsome woman.
You look like you live in the gym,
but
even though you don't go.
I do go to the gym 4 times a week.
Oh, you do? Okay, then there you go.
I recently started going 3 months ago, so
keep it up.
Yeah. No, what's it called? Someone who likes to be active. I don't like being at home all the time. You know me. I like to go out and have fun. Mm-hmm. I don't mind, an extra person.
Oh, so you're okay. Well, then, this is where I'm going to go on another rant. Find me a couple. Find me a gay couple that isn't open. Okay. Even if they're married,
there are rules for me. There are
rules
for me. If I
save me with the rules because it's bullshit. You know what? I'm telling you now.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, this whole open. I asked you, find me a gay couple that isn't open, and then I will find you a dead unicorn because I don't understand because I'm more of a monogamous person.
Yeah,
I really am.
Yeah, I see that.
I
see that for you.
And I'm a very possessive, jealous person. So when I hear these couples that are open, but then there's rules to this, and
there has to be rules.
There has to be rules, but for a lot of open gay couples, it's very one-sided to me.
Yeah, no, I noticed that too because I feel like at the moment they're like, oh yeah, I'm okay with that. It's fine, whatever. And then when it comes to the moment where they actually start doing whatever they agreed on, that's when
all hell breaks loose.
Yeah, that's when everything comes out.
It's like you have broken the rules for the fairness of this competition.
No, yeah, and I'm like, why? I don't know. It's just, I just opened that wrong, and now all my nails are mixed up. Ooh.
You see? There you go.
No, and then
fucking with them twinks. That's why.
No, what's it called? But yeah, it's. Oh, and I turn a lot of white people. A lot of white people that love Mexican boys.
Mm-hmm.
I get a lot of those too.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Which I don't mind, but like right now,
so we got some burrito chasers.
Yeah. Okay. No, I don't mind me like a relationship right now because I never had a relationship.
Oh, really?
I never had a gay relationship before.
Oh.
Yeah. See, I know I used to be straight.
What?
Yeah.
I feel very uncomfortable.
I do have kids, and I was with my high school sweetheart.
Aww.
Yeah, and
then... May I ask why? Well, never mind. Huh? You're gonna say, well, I'm gay.
Do you want
Whoa. I was gonna ask why didn't it work out? And then I'm like, well, you're gay.
Well, some things, it turned out we both had something in common.
Oh! So were y'all open? Was that the thing?
No.
Were y'all?
No? There's a whole story behind it. It's a different episode.
Oh, that is because I've never known your history or your.
I thought I told you.
No,
I feel like I tell a story all the
time. No, girl.
It's really scripted in my head.
You're very private about it, girl.
Well, speaking of which, that's a lot of questions that guys ask me, like, so are you bi or like? Mm-hmm. I'm like, no, I couldn't go back to the vagina.
Mm-hmm. That was the only pussy for me, honey.
Yeah.
Oh, she should be honored, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm like, well, since we're talking about race, since we're talking about
race, yes. Honey, I tasted the rainbow, honey. I've been with
Asian, so have I.
Black guys. I've been with Mexicans, well, obviously.
Yeah, I've been with the serious relationships I've been with were quote unquote were Mexican.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that. I love, and I guess this is across the country. This is like across the culture, but I love like big families. Like my dad is from a big family, and a lot of Mexicans are like very close with big families, and that's what I love about. But yes, but if I speak out of turn, please call a bitch out.
But yeah, I mean, right now I'm looking for a relationship, and I'm not actively doing it because I just hoping I'm like very like Drew. I want to be Drew Barrymore.
You've never been kissed,
or
riding in cars with boys.
I just wanted it to pop up and like we have a moment, and I'm a very like hopeless romantic at heart. So like if you serenade to me, or if you like do some wild like crazy like I don't know, I just feel like that's so I just revealed myself.
So there you have it.
If you want to date,
there you have it. If there you have it, you know.
If you want the berries, then
oh yeah,
do a grand gesture and make sure you're cute.
Yeah, that's the. Make sure you're cute
and mature, because honestly, I can't deal with little boys, and I've dealt with them most of my gay life.
Well, who wants that? Like, I think that's across the board for everybody.
Yeah,
like,
for sure. Nothing's more sexier to me than like you're
picking up the check.
No, I don't mind that. I don't mind picking up the check either, but it's sexy.
Have you ever been on a first date and they're like, they asked you to split the check?
No, I've always split it.
You do?
Yeah.
Angelique.
What?
Girl.
I would either like offer to pay, because I hate people paying for me.
Well, who asked who?
Huh?
Who asked who on the date? Like here.
I think it was mutual. I can't remember. It's been so long.
Get out of here.
Yeah, I haven't done an actual date in forever. I know.
Let me tell you something. If they ask you to go to this place for a first date, they better be paying. If you ask them, then that means, you offer.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Right now, I'm looking for a relationship, so who's ever wants to fill out application and W-2 form.
So this is what this podcast has come to. Is we are soliciting Angelique Berry for dates here.
I mean, yeah. Let's see what's out here.
I think you know what's out here. You're out every day. You're out every day. So
not right now.
Well, I know, but I think shit has not changed in the week that you've been gone. Okay,
I know, but I do have a story. I'll save it for another time about why I don't date drag queens.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. Like,
yeah,
would you ever date a drag queen?
Another drag queen? I haven't. No. But I've also experienced something that made me like, yep, never again.
Never again.
Never.
Never, ever.
And that's a story for another time. I will not mention their names because it's not
relevant. But I will. So.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, relationships.
Mm-hmm. Well, Angelique, this was very enlightening. Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, we learned a lot of stuff about each other, but see how much I have to cut out.
Yeah.
So an hour and a half just talking.
Do your final thing. Because I gotta go. I gotta poop.
Yeah. All right, well, thank you for listening to the Lady Berries podcast. What did I say?
Have a very, very
special day.
Yes. See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
You have just watched the Lady Berries podcast. Thank you for listening. subscribe, or follow for more content.